sure what happened. What's up, 01010? Hello, good to see you. Let's go over here to, set this to multi-stream, and then we'll go over to window capture. And set. Yeah, Nissan. Alright, so what I said while I was talking to myself, and you guys were looking at a black screen, we talked about the Model Y Juniper front camera cleaner. It does have one, and there was speculation that it might not because it looked a little different than the one on Cybertruck. Alright, I'm doing now is looking for the window that we're on, Nissan batteries. There it is. Alright, that looks better. And I'm already on X. Let me see if we're still showing live on X. I guess what I might do is just go back to the other software. This is more powerful, but obviously they want me to have a new computer, and I don't have new computer money right now, so I get a new computer, or they update the software again. We'll go back to what we used for the Tesla Life show. While also not flawless, we lost a Tesla Life Express Edition 2 due to recording issues. Other than that, it is more reliable. What's up, Robert? Good to see you too. So what was going on with this this Nissan story is they have purchased or acquired enough battery capacity for 300,000 vehicles to get produced, and that will help them on their way if they go it alone or if they merge with Honda, and whether or not Mitsubishi joins them. That's all. Excuse me. The reason I'm not really covering that one is because it's not. It's all kind of insider baseball rumors right now. What I'm trying to do now is get the projector going so I can see you guys. Output projector. There we go. I guess one thing I could do is just make the website like just bigger so I can read it. So when will we see them? They pushed the plans back. They're supposed to be this year, but they're going to be back in 2026 if they don't alter the deal further. And now the computer's mad at me. Maybe that's my problem. I didn't restart before the show. Over at Boring. We have a new station that's opened up. This is another hotel. And this is on the other end of that bi-directional tunnel that we were talking about, where it's got one tunnel that needs to service both directions. So there's a traffic light in there and a, what do they call the arms? Basically, you don't have a head-on collision, or hopefully you wouldn't have a collision, but just a conflict in the tunnel use. And there we go. This is the West Gate. And I was wondering if they were going to put a second one in there, or how they were going to handle this bi-directional thing long term. Listening to the driver that one of these folks had on their video and the answering of the questions, it sounds like they're not going to put in the other tunnel, but what they'll do is just send you to the next station. So it'll go back to being a single direction, just like all the other tunnels in the system. But you'll have to kind of just pass through another tunnel to get going back the other direction, which might make sense, especially if they're gonna, or not if, but when they start having this open and the convention is closed, or there's no convention going on, you won't really need to be using that other hub. You want to get from hotel to hotel. Once this opens to a few more stops and runs without a convention, maybe we'll stop hearing about from the "what about trains and buses" crowd. We might. Then we can compare costs and revenues. The advantage of not using buses is no traffic, and not using trains means extreme cost savings. The point-to-point setup is unique in that every route is an express, with no stops for passengers, and the paths aren't blocked by vehicles it stops. Except for right now with the bi-directional. proving or disproving this concept with non-municipal funds will make a strong case for a white paper when selling to other cities. Because everybody that we've heard so far that was partnering up has either gone quiet or elections have happened, and just we don't know really where any of that stands right now. Better than trains due to optimization at seat level, yes. I said yes, though I think a full express could stand a chance. And they pointed out that yes, that's true, except that the express train isn't magically snap your fingers full. You have to load the people in and out, which goes back to the whole thing I talked about waiting. You'd have to wait for people to load in. To be the optimal solution, you'd need a full train amount of people to arrive at the same time to leave without delay. The standard of every passenger arriving, boarding, leaving without delay multiplies to a level of utility that is hard to match across the traveling public, which is true. I'm sure there's some straight distance where the train makes sense, but how long until it overlaps with a jet? I'm talking about intercity, so you won't take a jet intercity. Once you go above ground outside of the cities where land is plentiful, then you can go high-speed rail, like in China or Japan, where it is better than flying, but autonomous cars are going to impact the intercity and long-distance travel. Mm-hmm. Because if you go long distances with a train, you need to fill the train, so it's worth the fuel or the maintenance. If it's electric, there's still fuel, but it's not as important as a diesel train. And you gotta wait then. You gotta either have prearranged times to travel, or it's not point to point. You go to a station, then around. There are traffic lights and stop signs within the tunnels. You can be stuck in traffic waiting for your car's turn to proceed. Yes. Yes, right. Now, one of the tunnels is operating in bidirectional mode. Hopefully, it won't stay that way for long. This person, the entitled cyclist, is entitled to his opinion where he says, no. I would think that a cyclist would like the boring tunnel, because now, if the cars are all underground, then they can't hit you. And they can't make the pristine landscape look ugh. Although, if the city doesn't care enough, they might not make bike paths, and you're not allowed to use the sidewalk. But you still gotta get delivery vehicles, and they don't fit. Well, I mean, most of them don't fit in a boring tunnel. I would think you could get delivery vehicles on the bike path, and just make it a little beefier than it needs to be. They're a lot narrower than streets. We'll see how that goes. I'm curious. Remember all the talk of Dean Kamen and it's going to revolutionize the way the cities are built, this, that, and the other. And it was just the segue, and people laughed at it. And yeah, it did not revolutionize cities. It was too expensive for what you got. There's no traffic as no one uses it. It's dead in the water, which is the exact opposite of what we saw from the report at the end of the year. Wait all you want. It's impossible for what Musk has created to be better than traditional mass transit. But it already is better in the point-to-point. He hates mass transit. Why would he want to match its efficiency anyway? Because he hates it. So why not make it better so that you have no reason to choose it? You defeated your own logic, my friend. The Tokyo subway moves 6.52 million every day. New York City, 3.6 million. Singapore, 3.5 million. And Toronto, 2.5 million. This thing's a pathetic joke. So, let's just load up Grok. The record set for boring loop was how many people per day so far? The record set for boring loop was mentioned with Sawyer Merritt in the post. An average of 4,100 people per day over the last 8 months, since it moved from the 2 million to 3 million passengers in May of 2024 to January of 2024. So that's 2 million to 4,100. That doesn't make sense. Let's click on this post it's looking at and see. Or is that post for me? I don't want to make a post. Boring companies building the biggest loop of oversight. Current conditions. Or current stations. We covered a story where it said they set a record. And that's what I wanted to look at. I'm looking for their best day ever. I don't care about Sawyer's post on that one. However, what we know from the post is that 4150 per day, last 8 months, totaling 3 million passengers since it came online. The record was they had done 3 million total for 2021. So in order to compare that, we would need to know 4 subway stops. And that's not quite comparable. This is what I'm saying. We need more stops for this thing to be anything you can compare against trains versus cars versus buses and taxis. It's still in construction. And for that, let's look at how much the cost is per station. We'll need more build out. Compare. Then we can look at prices. Construction costs. The concept. Is sound. We'll have to look at the implementation. Let's go on to other stuff. And I still contend that I like the concept. I don't know if it will work. But what we do know is their customer is happy. The Las Vegas Convention Center is getting everything that they asked for, and then some. The numbers exceed what they requested. Tesla named as one of the world's safest car brands in the UK study. All of Tesla vehicles that were tested, which number is 45. All of those vehicles have been tested. Which number 45 cars as per Confused. So is it 45 variants of Tesla or 45 cars tested? Confused.com study received no lower than 5-star safety ratings. There you go. No, I don't want my family to be safe. I want it to be driven in a car associated with Elon. Yes, I'm ignoring the other 100,000 people who work at Tesla. No. Yeah, that's the other thing I keep saying is all these car companies have histories, and I'm sure that not everybody's echoing his statements. How I ended up with this inside the article, I don't know. Alright, so 5-star safety scores. So one thing that people brought up is if fully half of the cars get 100% scores, do we need to make the tests stricter? That's a good question. And what I don't know is if that was in the article's comments or in it was in the article's comments or if it was in the tweets. I don't want this thread. I want the other one. How do I collapse this? There we go. The fact that this it was in the comments here. The fact that 5 brands had exactly the same safety rating on every other car suggests that better tests are necessary. Are we supposed to believe that all 211 cars are exactly safe as one another? No, they're not. There has to be a handful of these that are safer, and the tests don't tell us which ones. But then only Tesla would reach 100%, and the others would look bad. No one should reach 100%. It shouldn't even be a percent. A percent of what? Well, percent of the criteria. But you're right. It should scale. It should move up. The question is, what do we want to try? Because all of these safety things cost money, and we want to have a target. Let them reach the target. Let them get comfortable. Move the goalposts, so that we're continually striving for safety. It shouldn't be a number. It should be a score. Yes, I guess. In my second job as a slumlord, I buy a lot of toilets. They are rated on how much they will flush. I used to only buy Kohler because they had the top rating. And now even the cheapest brands score the highest possible score. So now I just buy for style. With regards to safety, I wish Tesla had night vision. I can't wait until I get adaptive headlights. Until we get adaptive headlights activated. Because we've got them. In the actual NCAP individual test, Tesla scored the highest. Yes, but they got slapped for using that because they're not supposed to use anything but the stars. Assuming that only holds as long as the electric barbecue mode is not enabled. What issue? Nope, wrong. Just go to the NCAP site and give me a reference. Oh gosh, I can't. What a surprise. So again, you go to the raw scores and compare them on raw scores. None of us really have time to do that, but as a manufacturer, Tesla did. And then some of the Tesla reporters, like the people who make a living like Dana Hull, reporting on Tesla or Musk, they went back and checked the numbers because that's part of your job as a reporter. And they found that the numbers were accurate. But again, Tesla still got slapped because you're not supposed to use the raw data. You're supposed to use the stars. Speaking of the facts, I'm sure you're happy that Edmunds revamped the Model 3 at 225 of the year. Alright, I don't know where the rest of that thread went, so we will go on to other stuff. I've got this, and I don't have a headline. What is it? A new world's largest storage facility. The world's largest solar plus storage project will deliver power 24/7. Oh, but the sun doesn't shine. How am I supposed to get my solar power? Out of this magic box. So the UAE is building the world's largest solar and battery storage project that will dispatch clean energy 24/7. Emirati renewable energy company, Masdar, from Abu Dhabi Future Energy Company, and Emirates Water and Electric Company, EWEC, are developing the trailblazing solar and battery storage project. Once it's online, it'll become the largest combined solar and battery energy storage system, or BESS, in the world. That's really cool. In Abu Dhabi, the project will feature 5.2 gigawatts of solar, of photovoltaic solar, combined with 19 gigawatt hours of battery storage. Wow. For decades, the biggest barrier facing renewable energy has been intermittency. To be able to uninterrupted clean power day and night. In collaboration with the EWEC and our partners, we will develop a renewable energy facility capable of providing clean energy around the clock. For the first time ever, we will transform renewable energy into world-leading 1 gigawatt of renewable baseload energy every day on an unprecedented scale. A first step that could become a giant leap for the world. There we go. Let's see here. Turn this back on. And close that. This is what we've been pushing for, 24-hour solar power. And why not? Smart move. They know all the benefits of renewable and the fact that their oil reserves will run out. Yes, they do know this. Use the profits for now to invest in the future. There's nothing stopping other oil and gas companies from, Agreed. It's interesting what sites have the thumbs up on and which ones have no thumbs down available. Back to the notebook. We were talking about hands-free with Brian. Well, let's talk about Rivian hands-free again. So they plan to release their advanced driver assistance system in 2025 and eyes off in 2026, according to RJ, the CEO, RJ Shiranj. Rivian plans to roll out hands-free driving this year and eyes-free in 2026. So this is going to be like the Tesla where you can just take your hands off the wheel, and as long as you're looking within that 3 seconds, in the case of Brian's car, and it will just keep doing its thing. It's not FSD. It's just like Auto Steer, Super Cruise, so far. Let's see. If you drive a Gen 1 or Gen 2 model, all Rivians built through 2024 are 20 Gen 1, while 2025 and newer are Gen 2. They engineered the second gen last summer, completely re-engineered with 100. Yeah, they re-architected the whole car. 10 times more powerful on the ADAS. Also features 360-degree visibility with 8 times the number of camera pixels than the previous models. So similar upgrade we saw with the Hardware 4. Gen 2 models already include features like blind spot monitoring and highway assist. With the premium version, drivers gain access to lane change, and Rivian said that enhanced highway assist and other features will be coming soon. Given their size, I don't mind them taking a little bit longer to get there. As a Tesla Model 3 driver, I can tell you that full self-driving is fun and can be helpful at times. I have used it on longer trips, like in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Yes, I love it there. And it makes driving or sitting in the car a little more enjoyable. It does. T-Dog says, Rivian owners, let me provide some helpful advice from a 3-time Tesla car owner and 3-time FSD purchaser. Do not buy it until it actually works. The good thing there is Rivian's not threatening to raise the price on you. Do not think to yourself, self-driving will be fun. Test driving this beta software. At the end, you'll likely end up having to buy it multiple times over before it finally works. Save your money. Rivian's not selling FSD. Rivian's selling enhanced autopilot. To this day, my FSD does not work well enough, and since I don't have hardware 4, it likely never will. It's not what we're seeing for folks that don't have Model 3s or Legacy. Excuse me. However, I've learned my lesson, and in any event, Musk will not be getting another dime out of me. All right. Wait, where's the rest of his comment? There we go. Although the system still requires you to pay attention, it enables the vehicle to drive itself almost anywhere with minimal driver intervention. What's kind of funny, though, is the top voted comment was even more skeptical on Tesla than Fred is. Fred, I think he's actually pretty down the middle, except for some of his word choices, but everyone's got an opinion. The new Actually Smart Summon is one of my favorites. Though the Tesla app, through the Tesla app, you can summon your vehicle to you in a parking lot. The vehicle will then move around other cars, people, and objects to find you. Other functions like navigate on autopilot will take over while the vehicle's on the highway, changing lanes with turn signals, and braking or accelerating as needed. For Rivian owners, it would be like an upgraded system for highway and lane change assist. So not navigate on autopilot, but enhanced autopilot. The old one. The eyes-free system is coming next year. Will likely have a few regulatory hurdles to pass before it rolls out. Oh yeah, they don't want to see that. Unless Elon and friends really reduce the automation requirements. For Rivian owners, it would be like an upgraded... No, we just read that. Regulatory hurdles? Weird. Check back for more info soon. We'll keep you updated with the latest. That we will. I suddenly got very sleepy. Tesla Boomer Mommer says that I don't think this is a sign for the FSD deal. And Sawyer agrees with that. Now, if it was FSD, they would just say it. So we looked at this product as it was being announced, and they said they were going to hold off on it and work with Tesla. It looks like they did work with Tesla because Inside EVs has a hold of it. This is the supercharger extension cord, and it could be a game changer. Feeling sick of double parking your non-Tesla EV at superchargers? A to Z's new extension cord could eliminate that problem altogether. That is absurdly long. If you own a vehicle, that combined with the fact that the Lightning doesn't need to park in such fashion, I think it's just either setting its point or just stretching the cord out. Well, not stretching, but laying it flat rather than having any sort of twisties. What is this? Yeah, it's me. What? That's bogus. There we go. Got a baby doctor appointment reminder. If you own a Tesla or non-Tesla and you have the port in the wrong location, your problems could be over soon. Increasing number of buyers from General Motors, Ford, Polestar, and Honda now have access with an Access CCS adapter. Awkward for other EVs. Tom made a video on it. I haven't watched it yet. I was hoping that this was them having a write-up on it, but I don't see that. It's a 16-foot extension cable, weighs over 21 pounds. That actually adds a little bit of confidence to me. The author thinks it's unnecessarily heavy, and owners will have to lug it around. Safety first. The final design is shorter and lighter, estimated to be about 5 feet long, and weighs 7 pounds. Okay, I see what you're saying. Unlike most Access CCS adapters, rated for 1,000 volts and 500 amps. The cable is rated for 1,000 volts and slightly lower 350 amps. Interesting. A to Z said it favored the ease of use over outright charging speeds. A higher rated cable would be much heavier due to the extra thermal insulation requirements. Max pins on both sides, so you still need an Access CCS adapter. That'd be cool if it was just a cable and it was an adapter. Regions, but then you can still use this after the world moves on and you get your new car too. Charging seamlessly, identical. What about safety? There we go. I wanted to see what they changed after their little spat with Tesla. Tesla said they're not safe, and then they said, yeah, we are. Hey, Robert. A to Z said that the extension cord has 4 thermal sensors, 2 on each end. One pair of sensors derates the charging, meaning that it lowers the charging speeds when the temperatures get hot, and the other pair can completely cut off charging if the thermal threshold is surpassed. I think the giant elongated adapter, says A to Z expert Robert Powell, who was formerly at Tesla and told Tom Maloney in an interview. There we go. Uh-oh, some X accounts have been getting hacked lately. I'll have to read on that. Oh, mine should be good. Unless they're getting hacked from the X side. So there it is. You can watch Tom's video if you want to see what became of it, and then I will watch it myself to learn some of the juicy details. Alright, we talked about Rivian hands-free. There was another article on it. And then the Model Y Juniper came out. Why is it out of order like that? Oh, somebody saw the camera on the Model Y before it was on sale or something? No, because we talked about it last week. Did we? Maybe that was just the Tesla Life. It all blends together. The Model Y is out now. That's what matters. I've got a bunch of articles and tweets on it. Yep, so that's what it was. It was spy shots or something. 'Cause this is where it hit my notebook that it came out. We're looking at long range of 59,990. It's the launch edition, so you get a rear liftgate badge, puddle light badge, door sill plate, and word mark, and the charging, phone charging console word mark, which is cool. And you get a special launch screen on when you open the door. It's gonna be lit. Let's see if we can get a combined everything. $59,990. The U.S. specs have landed, and you get more range, but a bigger price tag as well. Here's what you need to know. Although they say bigger price tag, if you get the launch edition, you can configure some older ones that have. We'll get into that. Some older ones actually have a higher price than the new one. Model Y Juniper, got some photos, but we looked at the photos already on Tesla Life. Did we look at them on here? I don't remember. I don't think so, because there it is in the middle of the week. It launched. It all runs together, because it was like a long night on X. You do get a turn signal stock. You can see it just peeking out right there. But the rest of it is completely stockless. Like, no drive, no start and stop, pause, park, wipers, just the turn signal. I like it. And as you heard me talking with Brian, the launch edition has 2 more speakers than the standard editions. However that works. Alright, I was hoping for like the stats call out. Can I just click these? I can just click these. That post has been deleted. Alright, you get $12,000 more starting price than the old Model Y long range all-wheel drive. Starting. But don't forget, this has everything. Everything is on it. That might not matter to you. You might not want towing and an FSD, but if you do get everything, then this is cheaper. You get any color paint you want, any interior, and no extra charge. The launch edition includes FSD at $8,000, acceleration boost, $2,000 value. Acceleration boost, something that's not even available in some places yet. The tow hitch, $1,000. Included the paint color of your choice, up to $2,000 value. It's not up to $3,000. Check my sugar, I'm not feeling good. Maybe I'm just not hydrated. Sugar's fine. Included wheels of your choice, up to $2,000 value. Your color of your choice, $1,000 value. Mobile charger, that's a $275 value. And remember, Tesla doesn't include wall connectors or mobile charging facilities by default anymore, except on these launch editions. Exclusive launch edition badging on the rear liftgate, puddle light, door sill, plate, and more, as well as custom entry animation on the screen when you enter the car. Essentially, you're getting $17,000 Essentials package for $12,000, and you get first in line. A similarly spec'd Model Y Legacy long-range all-wheel drive would cost $61,990, or $2,000 more than the new launch series, and that's excluding all the special badging, puddle light, etc. And you're getting all new upgrades in the new Y as well. Mm-hmm. Was this a great deal? I don't want all that stuff. Then wait for the non-launch. Does the legacy car manufacturers offer launch editions of their cars? Tesla's awesome. They do. Not very frequently. Yes, it's a very common thing to do. Almost every car model will have a first edition or a launch edition pre-configured. It's not a Tesla thing. But like this, they're not usually like this. but they do have them. Extremely common: Google e-tron Launch Edition, or Kia EV6 First Edition, or Corvette First Off the Line. That's the other part of it, is often the first editions will have a like an auction, and it'll just be like a massive auction price to your live stream gets the poop emoji. The auction sometimes goes to charity, sometimes not, but they sell for some staggering numbers occasionally. Let's copy this link, paste and go, close these extra windows. Every launch edition comes with a mobile charger. Yes, you said that. Excuse me. And the tow hitch. The new Model Y 19 crossflow wheel cross out the wheel covers. Quite different from the old Model Y. I like these without the wheel cover. Tesla, I don't know how they do it. They pick some really nice wheels, and then they cover them up with some questionable covers. Alright, and then we've got this last one from Sawyer, and then we'll switch over to Teslarati. Sorry. My filter doesn't work because it makes me sound like a frog. I guess I can try it out again later, but I'm not going to try it out now. Because we don't want to just push the computer over the edge again. The new Model Y is also launched in Europe. Launch edition. And there we go. Your country determines what colors you get and what you can get as a launch edition in color. The Launch Edition audio. The new Launch Edition has 15 speakers and a subwoofer, 2 additional speakers on the new Model Y. So we've got audio, long range all-wheel drive 7, long range all-wheel drive 13 and 1 subwoofer. Performance is 13 and 1 subwoofer. The Launch Series is 15 and 1 subwoofer. Where are the 2 extra speakers, Bruce? My ears are already rejoicing. Wheels can be up to $2,000, so $14,500 compared to the long range all-wheel drive plus acceleration boost on the new Model Y, so $16,500 total. Wheels are included as well. I didn't see that part. Wheel paint. Yep. And then Kim Java shows us what she saw on the site. Just a little visual. Hey, here it is. This is the Launch Edition. This is the old one. You can tell by this, it's got a little bubbly nose. You can pay more for the old thing, or pay less for the new thing, fully loaded, with the extra speakers. Let's see. Tesla will be offering the Cybertruck off-road armor and rocker accessories in the next couple months, along with air suspension controls and feature improvements. That's coming from a Cybertruck team member. Cybertruck off-road armor and rocker accessories launch later, or launch running with delays, but likely end of March. There we go. Finish delivering wheel covers for customers. So if you bought your Cybertruck and it didn't have wheel covers, they got you. Or if you got the old ones that dig into your tires, they still got you. We've secured supply, but distribution is the bottleneck right now. 32% are complete. Air suspension controls and feature improvements. Whatever that means. All new, new year and a new Model Y. Smiley face. Meet the new Model Y. Exciting news. Can you share what's coming up with the Cybertruck? Any new accessories going to drop with the Tesla Shop? Acceleration boost, all-wheel drive, FSD, supervised for version 13. Feature parity with SX3Y version 13? Question mark. That's a good question. I'm sorry, I don't know what she's up to. Can you fix the wipers, please? Can't clean upstate New York salt. We use lots. Ugh. So that little streaky pattern at the end there, that's how my X does. Right in front of my eyes. Just at where my eyes sit, there's a band that's poorly wiped, like that one there. All the rest of it, perfect. So I have to sit up or duck down or move left. Well, actually, moving left and right doesn't help that much because it's an arc at my eyes. And it's just mine, because that loaner one didn't have that problem. Huge. What about adaptive headlights or similar to what the SNX got last year? I assume it's got the global headlights behind them square things. Let's talk a little bit more Rivian. Rivian Tech has attracted other OEMs after VW joint venture, so there's got a little social proof going on, and VW is talking well about them in the industry circles, so that everybody else wants some of that as well. We'll see what becomes of it. I'm sure they will let us know as soon as they know. Oh, I was wrong. We have 2 recalls this week. Oh, no, not a recall. I'm sorry. We have 1 recall and 1 security flaw. Millions of Subarus could be remotely unlocked and tracked due to security flaws. Flaws also allowed access to 1 year of location history. We were just talking about Volkswagen and their lack of data privacy security for the... maybe that's the problem. I got heat pumping into this room, and all the computers already do enough of that. Let me turn on the fan real quick. Oh, that's the living room. There we go. So, millions of Subarus could be tracked remotely, unlocked. Millions of Subarus could be remotely unlocked and tracked to security flaws, and also including a year of location history. About a year ago, security researchers at Sam Curry bought his mother a Subaru on the condition that at some point in the near future she let him hack it. That's unfair, I suppose. It took Curry until last November, when he was home for Thanksgiving, to begin examining the 2023 Impreza's internet-connected features and start looking for ways to exploit them. Sure enough, he and a researcher working with him online soon discovered vulnerabilities in a Subaru web portal that let him hijack the ability to unlock the car, honk its horn, and start its ignition, reassigning control to those features to any phone or computer they chose. Ooh. The most disturbing for Curry, though, was that they found that they could track the Subaru's location not merely where it was at the moment, but also where it had been for the entire year that his mother had owned it. The map of the car's whereabouts was so accurate and detailed that Curry says that he was able to see her doctor's visits, the homes of her friends she visited, even with which exact parking spot his mother parked in every time she went to church. A year of location data for Sam Curry's mother, 2023 Subaru Impreza, that Curry and Shaw were able to access in the Subaru employee portal thanks to its security vulnerabilities. Well, the good thing here is that they could fix it at the security portal level. Hey, baby. You have pictures of your sister?
Yeah, I open it.
You open this?
You just bring it, and if you put it in your room, in my room.
And you put in my room?
Put it in my room.
Okay, we're gonna get some new pictures this week.
What?
We're gonna go to the doctor and get new pictures. Same, like this, but we get new ones. And she brought me one of the ultrasounds of her sister. And we'll be getting new ones. So, you can retrieve at least a year's worth of data, that's as long as his mom had the car, where the car is pinged precisely, sometimes multiple times a day. Curry says, whether somebody's cheating on their wife or getting an abortion or some part of some political group, there are millions of scenarios where you could weaponize this against someone. Even just straight up stalking. The good thing is that they can fix this with the portal access. But that's just as bad as the Volkswagen system where they had the data and it was just stored online. Curry and Shaw today revealed in the blog post their method for hacking and tracking millions of Subarus, which they believe would have allowed hackers to target any one of the company's vehicles equipped with its digital features known as Starlink in the US and Canada. They call theirs Starlink too, huh? US, Canada, or Japan. Vulnerabilities they found in a Subaru website included intended for company staff, allowed them to hijack an employee's account to both reassign control of cars of Starlink features and also access the vehicle's location data available to employees, including the car's location, every time the engine started, as shown in their video below. They reported their findings to Subaru in late November, and Subaru quickly patched its Starlink security status. Hopefully they allowed them to test the new stuff to see if that worked better. But the researchers warned that the Subaru web vulnerabilities are just the latest in a long series of similar web-based flaws, and they and other security researchers working with them have found that that affected well over a dozen car makers, including Acura, Genesis, Honda, Hyundai, Infiniti, Kia, Toyota, and many others. They totally skipped Volkswagen, who had a breach. Or not a breach, sorry. That had a disclosure. Not to say breach, a disclosure. There's little doubt, they say, that a similarly serious hackable bugs exist in other auto companies' web tools that have yet to be discovered, like Volkswagen. Subaru's case in particular, they point out their discovery hints at how pervasively those with access to Subaru's portal can track its customers' movements, a privacy issue that will last far longer than the web vulnerabilities that exposed it. The thing is, even though this is patched, this functionality is still going to exist for Subaru employees. It's just normal that an employee can pull up a year's worth of your location history. And we discussed last time we talked about this, the way that the Tesla has theirs set up, and we would hope that more would skew to the Tesla side than the Volkswagen and Subaru side. Wired reached out for comment, and the spokesperson said in a statement that after being notified by independent security researchers, Subaru discovered a vulnerability in its Starlink service that could potentially allow a third party to access Starlink accounts. The vulnerability was immediately closed, and no customer information was ever accessed without authorization. I guess that's still true because he was accessing his mom's data with permission, but how can they know? How could you know? I don't know that they can know. I mean, there are ways, but were they checking? Also confirmed with Wire that there are employees of Subaru America based on their job relevancy who can access the location data. The company offered as an example employees that have access to share a vehicle's location with first responders in case of a collision detected. Fair enough. All these individuals receive proper training and are required to sign appropriate privacy, security, and NDA agreements as needed. We would hope. The systems have security monitoring solutions in place which are continually evolving to meet modern cyber threats. They obviously didn't work. As I say, they work now. Or are they new? And then you can read an Antec for the rest of the nitty-gritty details. And we will go on to Kia's NACS adapters are available now, but access to the superchargers is still pending. Software update. Official access. And our friend, White Hat Hacker, Green the Only, has a new type of hardware foreboard for Model Y. This one has the front camera position populated, which means that on previous teardowns of Model Y boards, he found that there was a place to attach the front camera connector, but it was not. It didn't have a connector on the board, so it was just a flat pad. And now it actually has a full connector on it. Tesla refusing to do the right thing about FSD package, blah, 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 context. I told him he just pulled another picture from the thread. I'm about to go scroll in the greens. Top comment. This also makes Tesla hardest fans not want the cars anymore. They build profits off the early adopters, their most loyal customers. And as these cars age, the customers will probably have to try their luck with a brand that did not lie to them. I don't plan on buying another one at this point. Heck, they won't even look at my battery degradation claim seriously either. Your warranty on your battery is 30% capacity loss within the warranty period, or a failure. So if you're less than 29% degradation, they're not gonna work with you. So this is just people complaining that their cars don't have a retrofit to the newest, latest, greatest yet. But we already know that hardware 5 is in the works, and unless they get this thing working on hardware 3 for version 13, then they're going to have to do something eventually. Good evening, Anders. It's good to see you. Lots of stuff happening with the electric cars in your country. It's exciting to see. I spoke with one of your politicians on a chat the other day, and I need to get with her to talk about metal. I just need to make the time, but I think that'll be fun. All right, and our last scheduled story of the day, we've got a hydrogen story from me. Yeah, hydrogen story from me. GM is using California wildfires to pilot a mobile DC fast chargers. It was better than diesel, I suppose, but no, it's better than diesel. Because it's going into a fuel cell, coming out as DC power, going into a car. Let's see if they give us any details about the Hydrotech hydrogen gensets that they've got dropped around LA. GM is providing a number of mobile charging stations to Californians recovering from the recent wildfires, including a trio of Yoshi Mobility propane chargers and it's propane. Okay, that's different. Propane chargers and a couple of DC fast charging, capable of DC fast charging 2 EVs at once. Okay, that's good. So it's a little split share. A single biofuel-powered mobile charging station from InCharge, capable of DC fast charging 5 EVs. So this is just a mobile site, similar to what we see with Tesla, but instead of being powered by a Megapack or anything electrical, it is being powered by a biofuel generator. Finally, GM is targeting local support to our customers and employees who have been impacted by California wildfires. We're finding ways to help people get back on the road and using our resources to help make a difference in the recovery in the weeks and months to come. I could have sworn I saw a. I'm glad that song's not copyrighted anymore. I'm obsessed with that birthday song. When I first read through this, there was a hydrogen component to it. That's why I even put it in here. Because I skipped it until I saw that. The mobile charging station rollout is part of a broader response. I don't know what happened to the hydrogen one. I'm sorry. Broader response from GM that includes planned philanthropic contributions to nonprofits serving affected communities. I don't know why she's gotten into screaming lately. It's not particularly helpful. And she kicks in my door like a police person. Just boom! Foot out. Where's my camera? Oh, there it is. says it is. There we go. The complaint is that they could be doing more. They should be doing more, and they're not. GM also is providing its customers with damaged or destroyed GM vehicles assistance towards the purchase or lease of a new GM vehicle, subject to certain terms and conditions, which may include certain qualifications and restrictions. The company will also help cover collision repair deductible costs for damage to GM vehicles incurred from the wildfires, again, subject to conditions. So they're making contributions to charities and stuff that they've already done. Oh, there was Hydrotech right there. Medium-duty hydrogen utility truck via GM. So is that where the hydrogen came in? In which case I'm not at all impressed, because you guys know how I feel about ground transport. Excuse me. Certainly commendable for GM to take steps in an effort to support wildfire victims. It feels like a company that made more than $19 billion in gross profits in 2023 and over $20 billion in 2022. 2024 numbers are not out yet, but the company did well enough to spend more than $6 billion buying back its own stock. It could have done better than announcing planned donations. Yeah, they could have already made the donations, or the checks could be in the mail, or something planned. We plan to donate to some charities. Asking its employees, and asking the employees to pony up. I do hate that procedure. Like, I don't mind like employee matching. That's kind of cool. But if you just take straight employee donations, put your name on them, and then send them in, that's really poopy. By my math, GM shareholders could have given the each of the 163,000 global employees the company had in 2023 a $36,000 one-time bonus in lieu of those stock buybacks. How good do you think morale would be if, all right, hey, we have your Christmas bonus this year. How would you like $36,000? What? Life-changing. That said, how many companies are doing nothing at all? Good on GM for trying, then here's hoping others step up too. Yeah, and then, say what you did. Say what's in process, not what you plan. We plan to donate some more. And no comments on that one. Tennessee will triple its dumb EV tax for inflation. Oh, wow. We talked about this. I even made an article on it. We'll look at that in a minute. Tesla's own former AI engineer trolls. 23 January. I missed this one, so let's open it up. And then this was the one that caught my eye, was the Tennessee. Tennessee will triple its dumb EV tax inflation. But gas tax lags inflation by 5x. This is what I keep saying about these freaking politicians. Tennessee started the process of hiking its EV registration from $100 to $274 this year and beyond by continuing hiking fees into perpetuity further increasing the disproportionately high taxes paid by EVs in the state compared to gas cars. We've covered many times before how misguided these taxes are, not the least of which is because they are going to result in cynical lobbying. They are the result of a cynical lobbying employed by the oil industry to disadvantage a better transportation method. Mm-hmm. This year, Tennessee's EV fee had doubled to $200. Let me copy this. I'm going to do something with it. Taking out the link to the comment because I wanted to show up at the top. quite a link. Covered before how misguided these taxes are, not the least of which is because they are the result of cynical lobbying ploy. Tennessee's $100 fee was lower than many, but it still taxed EVs at a much higher rate than a similarly efficient gas vehicle. For example, a 140 mile per gallon gas car, if it existed, would pay $28 in gas taxes per year if driven 15,000 miles. $28, 28.00. But a 140 mile per gallon equivalent EV, of which there are multiples of, used to pay $100, even if it was low mileage. Just a flat $100. Even if you only went 5 miles, or parked it at home the entire year. As a flat fee, it also adds a small disincentive for drivers to remain low mileage, indeed, which doesn't help with congestion and road usage. Facts. This year, Tennessee's EV fee doubled to $200, but it's not stopping there. The state is claiming that it will continue increasing the fee to $274 in 2026 and continue increasing beyond that along with inflation. Tennessee lawmakers and the Department of Transportation commissioner had asked to raise the fee to $300, which would have tripled the already disproportionate fees that the EVs pay. $300 versus $28, because they did not adjust the gas tax. It's still the same 0.09 cents plus whatever the state had done, and which those states have raised the gas tax any time recently. Big issue here is inflation. 100% last year, and it won't be 37% in the next 2 years. These hikes are well beyond inflation, and on top of a fee that was already too high per the calculations above. Not only that, the gas station tax has not been indexed to inflation in Tennessee. That's true. In fact, the gas tax has lagged inflation significantly, getting smaller over time in comparison to the value per dollar. You can see history of Tennessee's gas taxes here, showing that drivers used to pay 7 cents per gallon in 1931, but only pay 26 cents now, plus a 1.4 cent special petroleum fee. If the gas taxes had kept up with inflation since then, it would be $1.42 per gallon, meaning they're 5.4x too low compared to inflation. But that's because the gas taxes didn't go up for 50 years in Tennessee until there was a measly 2-cent bump in 1981. Starting our calculations from that year, you can see gas taxes are a lot closer to keeping up with inflation, but still should be around 20% higher than they currently are. And that's without accounting for 2023's inflation or the next 2 years' worth. Agreed. They can try all they want, but if history taught us anything, it's that you can't stop innovation. EVs are not only better for consumers' wallets, but it's better for your overall health. The need to constantly drill for oil and dig for coal is no longer warranted thanks to developments in technology. I'm not saying those resources won't ever be needed, but there is no reason good enough to not ever stand behind advancements in technology that are better for our and the planet's overall health. Alright, so now we're going to go to x.com/gcustom. And we're going to go to articles. And I've got a new one about demystifying battery systems, my journey to off-grid independence. But this is the one I was looking for. Double overloaded. Fixing EV road policies without reversing progress. Show probable spam. I'd say that's spam. Alright. Add another post. These are all mine, so it should appear at the bottom of that. But what it is a link to the article we just looked at. For a reason. Yep. Alright, so what got me started on this one? I called it double tax and overloaded, fixing EV road policies without reversing progress. When I saw the suggestion that EV owners should pay their fair share for road usage, I had to respond. This approach doesn't take into account the existing taxes and EV fees that EV already bear, which are often far exceeding what gas-powered vehicles contribute, as we just looked at with the electric article. It also overlooks inflation. Oh, sorry, inflation. Yes, that too. Innovation and progress that these vehicles embody. Instead of penalizing adoption, we need balanced solutions that support clean energy and ensure fair contributions to the infrastructure without reversing progress. So Sawyer linked a article that said news. Trump nominee to head the U.S. Transportation Department said today, on the 15th, that EVs should pay to use the roads. Who are you? We already pay. Most revenue for federally funded road repairs is collected through taxes on diesel and gasoline, which EVs do not pay. EVs should pay for our use of the roads. How to do that is a little more challenging, said Sean Duffy. I need a copy of this. I need the full page. It's spinning on me. There we go. Yeah, you can put it with the other articles' pictures. That's fine. Okay. Tax tires, not fuel. We'll pay through registration fees. It's been that way for years. So on and so forth. So, this is extremely tone deaf. Many states already tax and fee EVs at rates far exceeding the lost gas tax revenue, and we're already taxed on electricity. We are already taxed on electricity, with some paying hundreds of dollars per year in addition to the existing fees for that class of vehicle. I'd suggest eliminating those usurious fees and taxing tires, splitting the tax between local, state, and federal levels, like the current gas tax today. A portion for trucks and commercial vehicles, as we do with their plates already, and to avoid the requirement of 20 plates on every trailer and tractor. And so those of you old enough will recognize what I started the article with was a bingo board. So this is all the states that this truck is allowed to operate in and has paid the fees for. No, the claim that EVs are heavier is not accurate for most models in comparison to their combustion counterparts. When you compare like-for-like models, it's not true. What's the point of promoting EVs for clean energy if outdated policies and double dip in taxes hinder adoption? How do you propose we reform these policies to foster innovation? Shouldn't we consider savings in healthcare and environmental costs? We should, because even if it's a customer pay model, that's still there. It's one of my shortest articles as well. Most of them are much longer. Even the solar one is about double this length. And it's not like it dallies. It just gets to the point, boom, 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 boom. But just I pack a lot of points in. So this is how it used to look. You'd have all these plates on your truck. Header image is USA Truckers Bingo Board Plate, 1973, Truck Unit 10, by Woody, 1778, and this one is by Michael Spady. Farstead says, tax the tires, not the fuel. Gregor Truck says, tax the companies, make the tires last longer. Rated tires, longer rated tire life, less tax. I don't know, off base. And then I put in the article there. So I want to thank you guys for putting up my technical difficulties this week, and I want to thank our channel members like Anders and Timothy who are here today, and I want to thank all of you guys for your time and jumping with me from show to show. Show to show meaning the where the computer hung up, and then I brought it back online, and I'll catch you guys on Monday and Wednesday on the Tesla Life show, and then Friday, and then we'll catch you back here again next week. So, catch you on the flip side. Thanks.